drives me nuts when people think 20% effort should produce 100% result. Oh, I could get fired up about this. I am getting fired up about this. How are we supposed to have something that's bigger than us when we're here? And if we're trying to get this and we can't get this, then obviously we are below it. This is us, this is the world, and this is our results, this is our performance. And if we can't get this, we personally are performing under it. That's just, it's simple sense. If you can't get it, it's because you're under it. But once you get above it, you can achieve it. But you have to get in alignment with it or beyond it to be able to achieve it. And that means your personal life. Your personal life. Because if you hate yourself, if you're down on yourself, if you nitpick yourself, oh, you're going to be down. Head talk is destructive to your personal value. You can be happy on the outside and lie to yourself, and then trash yourself, and then grumble that you can't get that, whatever that is, and be all upset, like, I can't figure this out. And it's like, it's because you're lower. And that is such a hard reality for so many people, is you can only achieve what you're in alignment with or above. But if you're below it, even if you're that close, you see that? Look at that. Just that much. You see that? That much. If you're that much down, you don't get it. If you're 1 degree off, 1% down, you don't get it. You don't get it. And that's something people don't want to accept. People in this world think if you get close, you should win the prize. That's what the mentality in this world is. If I get close, I should get the prize. It's like, no, you have to hit it straight on. You have to qualify at exactly what it takes to get that, or you don't get it. And you have to rid your mind of close doesn't count. Kind of trying doesn't count. It doesn't count. Well, at least I tried. So you didn't get it. Well, I learned something along the way. You didn't get your goal. I know, but I still need to be proud of myself. Fine, but you got a 0. See, people, the people today, they want to just make everything okay. It's like everybody's so sensitive, but they can't reach actual goals because they play by the rules that if you don't make it, you're still a winner. I totally get that when it comes to self-esteem, but on a performance and result base, it's still a 0. If you don't make the sale, you get 0. You can still be awesome, but financially, you're broke. And see, people try to mix self-esteem with results. They're 2 different categories. Great, have high self-esteem, but if your performance is at a 0, you have a problem. You're not a problem, you just have a problem. 2 different things. Being the problem and having a problem are 2 different things. And people today have taken self-esteem and meshed it with performance. And that's why we have so many broke people and so many people with drama, is because they think that close should give them what they want and they're always upset. Wow, I'm on one right now. So sorry, but I'm just going to say it. Drives me nuts when people think 20% effort should produce 100% result. Oh, I could get fired up about this. I am getting fired up about this because it drives me nuts because they're so upset about their life. And then guess what they do? They get mad at God because God did not give them what 20% they thought would produce 100%. But human beings are so, how do I say this? Human beings are so complacent and so whiny. They're so whiny. You don't get this when you're here. You just don't. You don't. But guess what people do? They complain about it. They whine about it. They have fits over it. They get frustrated over it. They get bummed out. They get moody. They get depressed because they gave this much effort and they want this. And then they call it unfair. And then they say God doesn't love them and God doesn't bless them. You have to match what it is you want. And if you can't get this, it's because you're not there. And this is another place that people need to really look at, is the fact of self-talk is dangerous. You cannot have a negative thought and be at 100%. A negative thought is a -1. That means at 100%, if you have a negative thought, you're at 99%. 99%. 99% is not 100%. So this particular level of performance demands 100% to get it at this level. If you're at this level, it demands 100% at that level. So there's all these different levels, but you have to control your negative thoughts. But see, people today, they think that whatever effort they gave should have been enough. That's why there's so many broke people, is they think that the effort they gave is all they have. You know what the problem is with those people? They don't exercise. And let me just say, I said this once before, but people who don't exercise are not in reality. They're not in reality. It's like they go run and they can only run to the stop sign, and then they come back and they go, oh, I'm completely exhausted. But that's enough because I gave it my all. It's like, I'm sorry, you will not win the marathon trophy, even if you felt like you gave it all, because it's not enough. People think that when they give everything they have, that's all there is. Okay, you need, let this one sink in. People think that when they give everything they have, they think that's all there is that they could ever give in their entire life. No, no, they can give more. That's just all they had in the moment. Well, that's all I have. It's like, no, it's not. Kirk, I'm exhausted. That's not all you have. Yes, it is. If you've ever jogged before, if you've ever run before, if you've ever hiked up a mountain, right behind my house right here, there's a mountain. And we go for walks. We do this mile walk. And the first half a mile is uphill. And there's that one point that the same thing happens every day, where I'm breathing so hard, my brain says, we have to stop. And I go, we're not stopping. We can't breathe. We're going to be fine. No, we're not. And I'm like, keep going. And then I keep going and I quit breathing hard. It didn't level out. It's still going uphill. But just when we physically feel like we can't do it, it's not the end. It's not the end. If you've ever run before, you know those walls of running. If you've ever lifted weights, when I lift weights, like I was lifting weights this morning, 5 a.m., I'm at the gym and I'm lifting weights. When I do the first reps, my body is trying to get coordinated. And the first 2 sets, they're just like, I'm like, the last couple bench presses, the last couple curls, and I'm doing my exercises. And my body's like, we can't do anymore. And it's like, we're doing 1 more rep. We're going to do 10 more. We can't do it. And then the last rep, bam, just working it. And it's like, come on, body. It wants to give up way before what it can actually do. If you exercise, which I highly suggest, you get exercising so you can get into reality that your body can do more than what it will tell you. It'll do more. But if you want to make $5,000 in a month, you have to do what's required to create $5,000 a month. I don't care if you give it all. It's like, okay, you need to exercise. You got to get stronger. You got to manage that self-talk. You've got to do the work. You have to talk to people. You have to invite people. You have to fail 1,000 times in a month. If you're willing to fail 1,000 times in a month, you'll make $5,000 in a month.